What did Kanye say?
He gave his cousin.
Wait. Let me see what the headline is. I didn't see this story. Kanye West seemingly admits to performing sexual acts on his cousin after they saw two men kissing in an X-rated magazine when they were kids. My cousin's till I was 14.
The lyrics tell part of the story, but Ye goes into more detail on X, claiming this cousin he references in the song is now locked in jail for life for killing a pregnant lady, and has been since he was 17. Kanye says the murder happened a few years after I told him we wouldn't look at dirty magazines together anymore.
So it's your son, man.
Said about you?
Yeah, that's why I'm talking to you. Because I don't usually talk to because who suck once they suck. I don't go back. I don't go back and forth once you admit you suck. That's just me.
Ye goes on, perhaps in my self-centered mess, I felt it was my fault that I showed him those dirty magazines when he was 6, and then we acted out what we saw.
Legacy. So what you think I'll be spazzing out? Twins in charge of my legacy. I'm gay. Twins in charge of my legacy, and I'm gay. Turn it off. I'm in charge.
What happened at 14?
Well, he said until he was 14.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. I was assuming by the context. I was just using context clues. I just thought that he was saying they both were 6. They found this magazine and then they started reenacting.
That's how I interpret it. But like, what happened at 14 that he thought that he should stop that?
Your taste buds get a little stronger.
For the last decade, we have been witnessing the trials and tribulations of a troubled Kanye West. But the question comes to mind, can you hold a man responsible for his actions when it is known that he has a mental affliction? Or even a better question, do we believe that this affliction is actually a valid reason for such behavior?
I suspect that we're pretty awful people if we say that somebody got a mental illness and then we watch what they do.
Why you got all these black kids that just sitting in that school and y'all just trying to jump up and down from McDonald's? None of these celebrities give a about anything but they next motherfucking cheeseburger.
If you say somebody got special needs, then why would you be watching them and holding them accountable like everybody else? Wouldn't you grade them on a curve?
Bipolar disorder is a mood disorder where you have episodes of depression and mania, and each of those episodes lasts a certain amount of time. 2 weeks for depression, 1 week for mania, and 4 days for hypomania.
You don't think about like his family and people, other people that love him?
I am an evil person.
I love Kanye, you know, and people are mad at him. You know, what he's doing is wild, but, you know, when you see a homeless person in the street and they talking to themselves, you can't be mad at them. Something wrong, they're sick.
Right.
Kanye, something wrong with him.
Why
you know?
Virgil after he passed? I think a lot of people feel like, you know, he's not here to defend himself. And that, I think people are just confused by that. We get the story of how you guys kind of separated and how you feel, but you know, they always say sometimes, you know, when someone passes away, you know, can't be for the dead man, you know? It feels like you still have a little bit of animosity there.
I'm evil.
Yeah, Akademiks put that battery in my back, bro, because I was in the airport by myself, bro. That's so important to me, man. That meant love you, bro. That meant everything to me, bro. I'm gonna go get these kids, man. I'm gonna go get these kids, bro. I'm talking to the lawyers. It get to the point where I don't lose my mind. I'm like, I have to get used to that shit with my kids. Like, it'll be okay. And then it's like, hey, Ferg. Oh, I could be whole. I can be whole when I see my kids. Come talk to me. You don't know. I'm the leader. Why y'all keep trying to figure shit out? If I go like that, y'all go like that. I'm y'all leader, all of y'all.
When you go, whew, this guy. Because, I mean, what are we reacting to? What are we reacting to? You're the one that put him in a position where he thought he was God and could call himself Jesus. And you're the one told a guy that writes musical lyrics that he was a genius. You're the one that's like, so what do you expect? The guy married a whore? Like, what?
Oh, Lord.
Like, I didn't mean it like that. I mean, married her because she was one.
I don't like when people say they want the old Kanye back. I've been a Kanye fan my whole life. The same Kanye? He's been crazy the whole time. You think that was normal? We're in the prime of his career with everything to lose. He went on live TV and said George Bush doesn't care about black people. That's some crazy ass behavior.
It is a fair assessment that Kanye West has always been on the edge, a risk taker. The risk that it takes to double down, triple down on yourself, to believe in yourself, to do exactly what you want to do. The risk that it takes to convince the world that you are an elite producer and rapper combination. The risk that it takes to convince the fashion world that you have something to offer and that you can elevate yourself to the echelons of the before mentioned. But this crazy behavior that was celebrated, has the worm turned? Has it turned against the man? Was there something deeper? Was there a hidden trauma? Was there perhaps, just perhaps, an inkling, a foreshadowing of what was to come?
Or do you want to marginalize me till I'm out of my moment?
Or why don't you empower yourself and don't need them and do it yourself?
How, Sway?
Take a few steps back to go.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers.
Kanye.
And it's okay, no? But y'all niggas ain't doing no season 3 stadium show? How many millionaires you seen Virgil made? How many people met Virgil was like, I'm a millionaire now. I'm a billionaire now. That's what they do. The white people, the Jews, they'll grab a Kendrick, a Virgil, and then put a false idol, a false king. And I'm not here to be your idol, I'm the leader. I'm not here to be worshipped. And as a leader, I'm saying, how am I supposed to lead y'all if I don't got my kids with me to continue what we're doing?
You know, and people, I don't listen to the homeless man yelling stuff and think, oh, he mean that?
Right.
He don't mean that. It's just coming out.
Right.
Right? So somebody needs to
grab him.
Somebody, you know, that's when you need an uncle.
Right.
Grab him. Hey, come here, boy, let me talk to you.
That's what I'm trying.
That part ain't my son.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. That's what I'm trying to figure out. What are we doing? I know how you stand on business. I didn't know if we had, it was intervention. If you was gonna have an
I was trying to have the intervention, but you know I can't stand.
All right. It might have been a phase.
So what Cam is saying is that his whole phase is up. He can have his whole phase deleted.
Kanye West been sucking through the what? Yeah, Yeezy been sucking through the what? He been sucking since an adolescent all the way to a teenager. Well, you been sucking meat. That's why you acted the way you acted, Kanye. You've been sucking meat. And y'all thought I wasn't gonna say nothing about this. The boy need help.
Kanye said, only millionaires wear chains. They said, what? He said, I'm a billionaire. Billionaires don't wear their money on their body. I took my chain and I said, oh snap. He said, I can say anti-Semitic things and Adidas can't drop me. Now what? Adidas dropped that immediately. This guy lost $1.5 billion in a day. $1.5 billion in a day. I saw that. I said, put your chain on. Welcome back.
Greetings, you polite savages, and welcome to another Tip Talk.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Ladies, gentlemen, of polite savages, we are now about to embark on a journey and take a deep dive into the life and times of Kanye West, aka Ye, aka Black Klansman, aka I Am Now White. We're gonna look at what the heck could have happened to such a bright star and why did his light dim so greatly? Is it mental health issues or is it something more sinister? Has the entertainment machine turned him out, turned him up, and turned him down? His life is a roller coaster, and we're all here for it. So as always, we can only tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth as we see it. So there's nothing left to do but get on up into it. Are you ready? Let's go.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
1. The fly backpacker, the one who had lyrics like that could not only be commercially viable, but uplift and actually deliver a message. And this man's backstory was absolutely insane as he pinned it in through the wire. He got in a car accident, had his jaw broke, wired shut, wrapped with it, wired shut, almost lost his life. Everything was almost at an end, and he was flat broke at the time. Didn't even have the money to pay the doctor's bills. It must have been divine intervention. He was humble, hungry, and grateful. And it seemed like we had on our hands something very new, something very different, a modern type of MC that could be commercially viable with songs like Jesus Walk, but also conscious at the same time. You heard the story again and again about Big Kanye West from the city of Wind. He lived a very typical lifestyle as known in the community, raised by a single mother that he actually absolutely loved and adored. So West was a culmination of work ethic and talent, mostly work ethic, because when talent sits around, work ethic gets to work and makes you great. All of this led to him signing with Rockefeller Records, at the time the absolutely hot, most largest record label in the world.
This accident is God saying, I'm about to hand you the world, because I had a lot of good records, slow jams, Jesus Walks, already in the pipeline. So he's like, I'm about to hand you the world. Just know at any given time I could take it away from you. So always keep me first. To them.
I'm the newest member of the Rockefeller team.
2. And for the longest times, it seems like everything was all good. Kanye West was making hits, making money, touring around the world. He was everywhere, making songs with Jamie Foxx, producing tracks for Twista, starting good music, bringing out Chicago's own Common, John Legend, later on Big Sean. But the question is, something was awry because Kanye West had stopped talking the revolutionary talk. He had started talking more about money, more about fashion. His lyrics went from Jesus Walks, although we all know that Rhyme Fest penned that for him, to bleached buttholes. Come on now. You gotta do better than that, my guy. There was an obvious shift going on, an obvious change in the matrix, a glitch, and Kanye West was no longer the backpacker fly guy with lyrics to go. He had turned into a bona fide pop star. During the great Rockefeller fracture, he also chose Jay-Z over Dame Dash, although Jay-Z thought his lyrics were trash and didn't really want him rapping, but Dame wanted to push him. Kanye chose the fame over loyalty.
Or do you want to marginalize me till I'm out of my moment?
Or why don't you empower yourself and don't need them and do it yourself?
How, Sway?
Take a few steps back to go.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers, Sway.
Kanye,
I've been doing this more than you.
Doing what
You ain't got.
me? Come on, chill out.
You
bro.
ain't got the answers.
Kanye,
You ain't got the answers.
I'm asking you.
You
a
ain't been
question.
doing the education,
bro.
You ain't been doing the education.
Kanye, calm down.
You don't have the answers though,
Calm down.
because you trying to give me advice about something. You ain't got the answer. You ain't spent $13 million of your own money trying to empower yourself.
3. And it was right about this time when we realized that something was awry with Kanye West, where he was making irrational decisions, not really making sense when he got into arguments with folks, then coming back and cleaning it up. Rumors of mental health issues, rumors of floozy issues, rumors of drug issues, rumors of top of rumors, and something else tragic happened to the man. He lost his light, his guiding light, his mother. And that was one of the most devastating things, obviously, that can happen to anybody. Because as anyone knows, if you lose one of the parents of your life, especially your only parent or your primary parent, the pain is almost unbearable. And by all accounts, we all understand that Kanye West was a mama's boy. He said so himself, proudly portrayed himself as such. Fast forward to marrying Kim Kardashian and getting into that crowd. Hollywood elites, status atop of status, and this is when it all went downhill. We got to keep it a buck about Miss Kardashian. She made it on not the talent of her acting ability or singing ability or business acumen. She blew up and got known for getting piped down by Ray J in an X tape that her family helped distribute. They'll do anything for the fame, and Kanye West had a gang of babies with her, and by all accounts, he's a good father to them. And it's a dichotomy wrapped up in an enigma. A broken clock is right twice a day. Sometimes Ye says something that sounds totally rational. And for months, he's on the right track. Then all of a sudden, he'll break down and do something absolutely crazy to make you scratch your head and wonder what's wrong with the man. But the shift in the matrix is obvious because he went from screaming George Bush don't like black people to calling himself the Black Klansman. So my question is, which Ye was the real Ye? The one that started off the revolutionary, conscious rapper, the fly backpacker? Or is it the decadent, ultra-rich, billionaire snob that we see today? I don't know about y'all, but I missed the old Ye.
Kanye West, Ye. Speak on it.
I think this about Kanye. Kanye obviously has a lot of knowledge and information about the other side.
Right.
And when people say he's brilliant and everything, I agree to a certain extent. But Kanye West wants to be accepted by the other side. And I believe that's what went wrong with him. I believe he wants the other side to treat him as equal.
Kanye doesn't even remember saying that. He needs help, okay? I love how people, crazy people. Just because you're crazy doesn't mean you say anti-Semitic. It's like, well, you've obviously never been in a bus station. Maybe you need to walk away from your infinity pool and your Uber blacks. Get into the real world of mental illness.
Bianca, do you think I'm gay just because my cousin tried to get my mouth pregnant until I was 14? You know he was just wilding out. No, Ye, you're brave for speaking out about that. It's the fact you're not as concerned your cousin killed a pregnant woman. And I listened to the entire album. It only gets worse. You mean the song that goes, I hugged my dad, reached around and squeezed his cheeks. 20 years later, he's behind a COVID lab leak. Yes? Well, what about this one? Took my brother in the closet, 7 minutes in heaven. Then he grew up and did 9/11. Yes, Ye, I'm trying to be supportive of you. But it's hard when your entire next album is about hooking up with family members who commit terrible crimes.
Thank you for watching the TIP Network. Follow us on all social media outlets and ask yourself one burning question. Can you handle the tip? Boom. We're out.
We found true happiness.